There are 4 goals in this training. The first is to know how to access your school team data sheet. Secondly, I want to show you how to document the used or refused cells inside of your worksheet. And I want to show you how to add observations of how students are making progress toward their goals. Finally, I'd like to show you how to submit your accommodation data sheet when you are finished marking for this semester. Begin by going into Class Link to access Teams through Office 365, and it will open with a ribbon on the left. Scroll down until you see the T, and that will open Teams for you. Alternately, if you have already downloaded Teams onto your district computer, you can access Teams by clicking on the bottom. That's what I'm going to do. Here is the team that we're going to look at today, the data sheet for ESE students. Now that you've found the team, I would like to show you that I've added a student sample practice assignment. Of course, it's not a real assignment, but it's going to give you individualized practice, and I want everyone to take a moment and try it. Let me open the assignment. Here is the student sample practice assignment. Open this document for an imaginary student, click on a date next to an accommodation, and change the drop-down to yes if the student used the accommodation. If they refuse to use the accommodation, mark refused instead. Then type in the goal area and add an observation for this imaginary student. Notice that there are 2 sheets, one for quarter 3 and one for quarter 4. I'd like you to make changes in both quarters so that you feel comfortable switching between the sheets and recognizing which sheet you're in at a time. The document will save automatically when you make changes in it, and you can submit it when you're finished. So I'm going to show you how to do this. You'll open your copy of the accommodation log sample by just clicking on the resource. Notice there's a close button in the top right corner. When you're finished making changes, you must close the document in order to be able to submit it. At the bottom of the page, you'll see 3rd quarter and 4th quarter. Notice there's a line under 3rd quarter. That tells you that you are actually in the quarter 3 page of this document. If I switch to 4th quarter, notice how it changes at the top here as well. So you have week 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to week 9 set up for each quarter. To switch between the pages, just click on the quarter that you want to be in. Notice they both say week 1, 2, 3, 4. Before we make the actual assignment with your student's name on it, we will change these dates so that you won't get confused. The directions say to click in the box Date on the drop-down arrow, choose yes if they use it and refuse if they don't. So this imaginary student has 7 different accommodations. Your ESE coordinator will put the proper accommodations in for your student. If I want to talk about verbal encouragement and I'm looking at week 1, on Wednesday this student used it. I will need to make sure to switch from viewing to editing mode on the document before I start. So let me move back. Now when I click on the square, there is the drop-down arrow. Student had verbal encouragement on Wednesday and also on Thursday. But on Monday and Tuesday, he wasn't interested. He said he's got it. Didn't need that. So I'm going to go ahead and mark all of what the student received in this week for presentation number 1. Number 2, did they have sample problems and tasks? He was doing great on Monday and Tuesday. Didn't feel a need for it. Wednesday, Thursday, I did need to provide sample problems and tasks. And he also used it on Friday when we took our test. I can go in and add documentation of how the student used these accommodations for every day of the quarter. If I made a mistake, I can just click in the same square and make the other choice. Now let's add some goals. My ESE coordinator has added the goals that are on the student's IEP. When I've observed the student making progress toward the goals, I'll click in the box and I'll type in what I observe here. If we want to come down here, participated, completed, and turned in assignments, I could say student turned in all assignments. And then when I'm finished, all I need to do is click the word close. Clicking the word close would bring up a button, a big blue button right here that says turn in. And when I click on that, then it's going to send me your copy. You won't need to turn in this document until this Friday. In a week or two, you will have an assignment that has your student's name on it, and you'll just continue opening the assignment, working in the assignment, and closing it when you're done. We've met our 4 goals for this training session. So to review, today we practiced finding our team. Secondly, documenting the used or refused in the accommodations on the worksheet, and documenting goals in the bottom part of the worksheet, and finally, learning how to submit the document at the end of the quarter. Thanks for watching. This has been Liz Bears with Tech Time.